Ugh. I don't hear it. Damn it. Oh, well. Oh, well. We'll do our intro with this today, since the other intro didn't want to bother to play. You're listening to PTR Radio with Shaggy, Mike, and Colin, here on the fabulous Interweb. And it is St. Patty's Week.
It's such a relaxing type of music that you've been playing that blarney sound.
You know, ever since I figured out St. Patrick's Day was this week, I've just been excited. Not because for any particular reason other than I like that holiday. It's an excuse for people to drink. And we don't have enough of those holidays. You know, we need more. And as I've been told, or at least as I've heard, Americans do St. Patrick's Day better than the Irish do St. Patrick's Day.
Wow.
So,
Well, one thing that's for sure is that the Irish are not going to be eating cabbage and
corned beef. Nope.
Like we will.
I actually read a few stats. Did you know that the first St. Paddy's Day parade was not held in Ireland?
I'm not surprised by this, but where was it held?
Boston.
Not surprised by that either, to be quite honest.
It says something when there was enough refugees that they decided, let's have a parade. And the other interesting thing I learned, St. Paddy was not Irish. He was Welsh.
No, of course he wasn't. Yep.
So, you know, interesting things. So, in honor of St. Patrick's Day this evening, I am not going to be having a At the Bar segment.
I see you've brought the bar to...
Yes. Instead, I have brought a selection of some of my favorite Irish whiskeys to the desk. So I can just kind of pick and choose which one I want during the show. And I don't have to get back up. So I think we're going to start off with, as is appropriate, Paddy's. Because you can't get more Irish than an Irish whiskey called Paddy's. So, and this one actually, I had to open it for the show. I'd gone through my Paddy's. This is the greatest sound ever. I mean, you know, that's the best sound. You know,
that's the sound of, hey, I'm not going to remember stuff in a little bit.
Oh, I'm not going to go crazy. I have to work tomorrow. But
so do I.
You know. So, but nope. From the Cork Distilleries Company, Paddy's. So that is I have drank a lot of this one in the past. It's very good. So.
You got the little snifter. Look at him. He's all fancy pants.
Yep. I do have the right glasses. So, you know.
Meanwhile, I just I went a little insane. I'm back on the I got liquor bottles that I got to just empty and get rid of tour. So what we have here is a pint glass that started with ice, a shot of Bird Dog chocolate whiskey, a shot of Hiram's coffee brandy, and a shot of Frangelico.
Okay.
Topped off with seltzer.
So you made the alcoholic version of the suicide drink from when we were teenagers.
Basically. I thought I was going for kind of a almond mochaccino type flavor because I had the coffee, I had the chocolate, I had the Frangelico, which is a hazelnut type flavor. So it's
Did you get it? Did you hit the right flavor?
Well, I probably could have done with less ice and seltzer. It's not. It actually just tastes kind of like chocolate. There's no burn to it, so it's diluted enough.
The thing about
But by
chocolate
the
is
end of the night,
it'll overtake everything. You know, you got to be careful with chocolate.
yeah. Well, cheap chocolate whiskey. I mean, come on now. Bird Dog
Yeah.
is not exactly what I would consider. They sell that next to Mad Dog. So it's not exactly what I call quality.
So it's in the dog section, is what you're saying, basically.
Frangelico is really the only reputable liquor in this. Hiram's Coffee Brandy is Hiram Walker, you know, the redheaded stepchild of Johnny, wasn't allowed to make his own scotch, so I'm going to go make coffee brandy. I mean,
if you'd like to tell us what you're drinking tonight, you can chat on the Facebook post, get us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, whichever is appropriate. So, yes. We are now able, Mike is now able to check all of those, and you can get your 15 minutes of fame by being brought up and shown on the stream. So, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the show, this is what we do. We talk about whatever comes to mind. So, we have a few news topics that we'll go over, and then the last half hour of the show, we dedicate to 2 movie reviews. It's our double feature movie review. We pick 2 movies from the streaming world. So it could be Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, Fubu, Tubu, whatever, and we watch those. So I get there's too many ubus. All right, no matter what they are, there's too many ubus. Maybe there's just too many boos because there's a voodoo. So maybe U is too popular a letter for streaming companies.
yes.
They should pick another letter. Z. Z doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. Xylophone. How many times can you bring up xylophone? Not that many. Zebra.
Wait a minute.
That's spelled with an X.
Xylophone?
I know.
I was going to say, wait a second.
Xenophobe is even spelled with an X. Z doesn't even get those. Z gets Zorro. That's all he gets. That's his claim to fame is Zorro.
I was going to say we can't even agree how to pronounce it. The rest of the world wants to call it Zed.
Well, yeah, I know. That's yeah. So anyway, I mean, we do have things to talk about this evening. Pandemic, last time I checked, still going on. We talked about shots last time. I'm going to get signed up for mine here fairly soon. Wife decided, time to take the vaccine. So, I said, I'll get mine when you get yours. Whatever makes you comfortable, that's what I'll do. So, eventually we'll get it. I got another one. I got a phone call today. Actually, I've got it for the last couple of days. Turns out it was my alarm company calling me. But it was one of those that you get the call, and immediately he goes, "Hi, can you hear me?" And you go, "They're just trying to get me to say yes, so that then they can record my voice and get me signed up for something else." Because you hear that scam going around.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I necessarily always believe that scam, but it's like the same guy has said the same thing multiple times when he called, right? And so I just go, "Hello, this is Shaggy. What can I do for you?" Basically trying to say everything except for any affirmative phrase. And it turns out...
Should do what I do.
What?
Hey, can you hear me? This call is being recorded for quality and training purposes. Can I help you?
Well, I used to just say, "Springfield Police Department, how can I direct your call?" Or 911, what's your emergency? That one always worked too. But It was a really weird call because it sounds like, if the guy's on the up and up, it's the alarm company wanting to replace my alarm panel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been such a long customer, which I have. I've had it for like 7 years. But I don't know. I don't know if I even want to have them replace the stupid thing. So, but anyway.
Actually, usually when I get that, even if it is a real person, instead of saying yes, my response is, "Can I help you?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gets mixed up with all the other stuff that I get, because I continue to get the text messages that say, "Congratulations, you're our third prize winner." Which, again, at dinner last night, my wife said, "Hey, I got this message from AT&T telling me that I won first prize." And I'm like, what the hell? I can't even win in my own household. I'm like, I know that's spam. I know it's scam, but I never get first place. I've only got third place.
I got more. I've apparently won more earbuds and AirPods than I know what to do with at this point. But hey, I did win, in a sense, since last show.
Yes.
Because for the first time in my 20-something years of following the website woot.com, I got bowling on cabanas.
That's right.
I got,
you
broccoli over cheese.
Yeah. You got Brussels sprouts or carrots. You actually won the coveted bag of crap.
This was from 5 minutes ago. I don't know what unsweet tea.
We said, what are you drinking?
Okay. Okay. There we go. That's right. So I have not looked in the box of crap.
I don't know how you resisted.
I will say, though, it is open because Kim had to look, but I did not look with her.
Okay. So
this is a first.
Did she have to look to see if there's anything perishable? I don't know that. So this is a real unboxing.
This is a real unboxing from my Woot box o' crap.
Okay.
I should probably clear off a little space here because.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's see.
See what Mike got.
First things first. I got a Woot shopping bag.
Yep, you got the bag.
Which apparently everybody gets now. Because that's how they cover it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hearing aid batteries. That's important.
You hold on to those. You may need them.
More hearing aid batteries.
All right. Don't want to run out.
The Magic Mesh walk-through hands-free screen door.
Well, look, it's great for pets, too.
Because my pets will pay attention to this, I'm sure.
Well, the good thing is they can just run right through. It's magnets.
This is an iPhone adapter, which just gives you one lightning port to two. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll be really handy for your Android.
What is this?
That is a stick-on wall light, or it might have, which takes like AA batteries.
Remove before use. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dimmable.
Ooh.
Cool. All right. No idea where I'm going to put that, but whatever. Another iPhone.
Boy.
Thing.
Well, that'll work for Kim's iPhone, so that's good.
Polaroid AAA batteries that have a layer of dust on them, the likes of which I've never seen.
I wonder if you have to use them in a Polaroid camera or if they're universal. What is that? Is that like a testing needle? I've only
There's
seen
nothing in here. It just
piece of plastic. Random plastic. Oh,
10-pack of dollar store scouring pads.
Hey, those are actually useful.
These are useful. What's this?
Used to be you only got 3 things. Wow, you're cleaning up.
The pill pouch. Perfect way to carry pills. Sanitary, convenient, right on label. So I guess if I'm traveling now, I don't have to scour to try and find something to carry my pills in.
Well, and you could just do your daily allotments. Colin, don't you have those delivered to you? Like every day your pills are in one single bag and you just, that's what you do.
Yep.
Oh, now this part makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Root After Dark. I guess this is a glow stick, and that's the connector to turn it into like a bracelet.
Ah.
Now that makes sense. Okay.
Safety first.
A 7-watt LED bulb, filament bulb. Looks old school bulb. Okay, that's. Wait, there's something. Oh no, these are okay.
Probably doesn't work.
Well, it's. I don't know who's going to wear it, but because it's a medium.
Well,
so this is going to get regifted to somebody who doesn't watch PTR. And
it's a big list.
This is a 2XL, which might fit, Under Armour. Yeah. That it might be a little loose, and that's it.
Wow, that's not a bad haul.
It's not terrible.
They really used to just give like a bag and 3 things. Back when the one time I think I won one.
I'll put that back.
So that was.
That's back when you actually had to say how many things you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was.
What was it? Back when you were allowed to buy up to 3.
3, yeah.
Or 3.
And that basically just said how many things you got in your bag of crap, and. Yeah, I never quite understood the people that only said 1.
So Kim was actually very upset because I told her once about how the guy got the 8-foot metal rooster. When I was trying to explain to her what the bag of crap was. And she was very upset that we didn't get that. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really haven't heard of that happening much ever since
it happened
Amazon bought them.
It happened one time since Amazon bought them, and they made a huge deal about it because they posted it up like they've had it in the warehouse, and I guess in the forums, everybody went nuts saying, you got to give that away. So Mama Blair says I hit the BOC jackpot relatively. My wife said it's crap.
Mm-hmm.
Apple juice, yes, that is from Woot.
Mm-hmm.
And the Blair House was won multiple BOCs. I literally, when I posted this up, I thought for sure that this was a scam.
Yeah.
Because it was the middle of the day, and it was 12. You know how they show like time to first Woot when you buy something?
Mm-hmm.
It was almost 12 hours.
Mm.
I'm like, there's no way that a bag of crap was sitting on the website for 12 hours and nobody found it. There's no way.
Yeah. I remember when they used to make you like play a game to find it. They would reveal the URL only after you played so many levels of a game that they created. But yeah,
they still have the digital crap, and you can win stuff. And if you don't, the consolation prize is you can buy a T-shirt that says "I miss the old Woot."
Yeah. So other people have won a glue gun, a bike lamp, a pallet of car wax. Halo 3 laptop bag, a brick of 10 facts or crap books, a monkey monkey puppet. Boy, that is hard to say together.
Yeah, I'm actually a little upset that I didn't get a
screaming monkey,
a flying monkey. Yeah.
I've bought them when they were just on sale because they're kind of fun. Somebody got a Roomba, a broken iPad, broken speakers.
Well, and at least everything works.
Yeah. Well, it could have been worse, Mike. Somebody got 4 breast milk containers.
I would have been very upset. If I got sippy cups, I would have been using them to make my booze for the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time I got like 3 camera bags is what I ended up getting. It was really disappointing.
And so Woot is still around, but they did get bought by Amazon. When did they get bought by Amazon? That was
3-4 years ago.
Oh no, it's been much longer than that.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with Woot these days is that there's so many different categories, and you got to like navigate through. It used to be back in the day when it was midnight Central or midnight Pacific or Central, I forget. Was when they put one item up, and when it sold out, it was it. That was it. It was done.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sometimes they would have a Woot off.
Well, yeah, and that Woot off was just occasionally, and they really did just sell one product in a day. That was it. Yep. When it sold out, it's gone. Tough luck. Wait till midnight. And they did. They sold everything from $10 bags of crap to a $1,500 life-size coffin designed to look like a piece of bacon. It was everything that was totally irreverent, that you could think of. That was where I first saw the Nessie soup spoon.
Yes.
That's just where the weird stuff showed up first.
So Dave commented when I announced on Facebook to my friends that, my God, I actually won one. Dave said, Woot has kind of become the clearinghouse for Amazon now.
Yeah.
They don't have the cool stuff like they used to.
Well, and what's weird is I watch some of these YouTubers that buy like pallets of returned Amazon purchases for like anywhere from $200 up to $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is. And that to me is almost more exciting than a bag of crap, because it really is weird stuff that you get in those. So
Dave actually said, when we were talking back and forth, he said, I would go halves on an Amazon return pallet, depending on the category. And I was like, yeah, no, not doing that. There's a place less than a mile from my parents' house that sells return pallets from various places. I'm sure Amazon's one of them.
Yeah.
I am not, man, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do with half of this stuff, let alone half of a pallet. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, if you get lucky, and that's all it is, it's pure luck. If you get lucky and the stuff is just stuff people ordered and they didn't like, or they ordered it and they didn't know how to use it, so they returned it, then that's one thing, because you can resell a lot of that stuff. But if you get the pallet that's a bunch of returned toner cartridges, or a bunch of broken things, then yeah, you're out a ton of money. So it's one heck of a gamble.
So you guys should get one and open it on stream. Just eBay the stuff you don't want. So
yeah, it's to a show.
Listen, Apple Juice, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put up a GoFundMe.
Yeah. That would
raise
make sense.
The money for the show to purchase a return pallet. And I will gladly open it up on stream. And we will divvy it up. Here, you know what? We'll plan to do this when things start lifting and everybody's vaccinated, you all come out to Jersey, since the place is right there. We can probably go there and pick the pallet that we want to buy.
I would go so far as to say, this is out, that I would put in, if we could get, I think it would be interesting. You know how sometimes companies have matching funds? Now, I'm not going to say we're going to match funds, whatever the listeners donate. No. But I would say if the listeners would donate, say, $500, okay, then maybe an idea is we each throw in $100 to take it up to $800.
I don't know if I like this idea at all.
I'm just saying.
There's just way too much issue. I mean, I don't know. It's something we could talk about.
It's something we can talk about. But it could be an idea. That would definitely be one of those, we're all in one place. It's, a big event that we could do together, and it's a big payoff, or it's just something big that we can do.
So Mama Blair's asking a good question. Where is all the cool stuff that used to be sold on Woot?
Okay, two things. One, Woot was sold to Amazon in 2010. So it's been like 11 years now.
Okay, 11 years.
The second thing is that the original Woot people still exist. They no longer work for Amazon.
Right.
And they run a separate site named Meh. Meh.com.
Mm-hmm. And they're selling stuff.
They're doing the one. So they are doing the original Woot. I gotta bookmark this now. Bookmark this page. Put it.
So
right there next to. Oh, at midnight Eastern. Okay. So now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Do they let you see? Because you used to be able to see like what yesterday's deal was and like what'd you miss?
If you click on the check out the community, you can see their previous posts.
Okay.
So like they had a 5-pack of Bluetooth tracking devices with extra batteries. They had the TENS muzzle stimulation unit.
Okay, so
they had
apparently they also have
a watercolor marker set.
By the
way, they also have a liquor one, which is or a wine, which is Casemate, and then they have a shirt one called Mediocrity.com.
Yep. Yeah, the name of the company that actually runs it's called Mediocre Labs. They had one last year, I think just before the before COVID, where they did like pasta. You could send people pasta.
Okay.
Pasta by mail.
So, Mama Blair, there you go. That's where the cool stuff is now. Meh.com. Good to know.
It looks like they have something called Side Deal, which actually looks somewhat closer to what Woot is now. So it's their place for just random stuff.
I was going to mention, you said something about TENS machines, right? Yep. Now, for those of you that don't know what those are the ones where you can put little patches with wires on you, and then they go to a little battery unit, and they basically shock you, right? Yeah. So I have bought a couple of those over the years for my wife who has back issues. Turns out now, depending upon the one you buy, you may need a medical practitioner's license registered with Amazon in order to purchase them.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was looking at buying another one, and they're considered medical devices now, which require a certification on file with Amazon.
Wow.
So I guess maybe it depends on the strength or whatever, but Amazon cracking down on certain devices being sold to the general public, I guess.
Well, they're worried that all the Nazis are going to come in, because they're drawn in by the appearance of their app. Guys, we've talked about some of this cancel culture and changing stuff, but the whole Amazon app thing. Somebody complained that the Amazon app looked like a Hitler mustache. First of all, it was blue. Second of all, it was apparently these people have never used a Scotch tape dispenser in their life because that's exactly how the Scotch tape looks when it's ripped off the stupid. Can we stop? Or when will we stop seeing what we want to see?
And the thing is, I don't know what was wrong with the old icon anyway.
The original icon before the mustache one, that was fine.
I knew what it was. Why are you going to change the icon on my phone so I have to hunt for it now? I have to start to learn a new icon. I know this sounds very old man-y, okay? But I don't want to have to look for something new.
Not for nothing, dude. But you see the size of the icons on this screen.
Yeah.
Right. I see Amazon. I'm looking at the name. If TMZ didn't run a stupid story about this, I probably would have never even noticed that they changed the icon on my phone. So
I would have just continued to have clicked on eBay or Walmart, and I'd have gone, I don't remember what that brown icon is. I'm not going to click on it again. I probably just installed it for a once-off. And then wondered where the hell Amazon went.
I know the smile on Amazon.
You know?
I mean...
Yeah, I don't... and for those of you that don't know what it is that Amazon had changed their icon, and someone made the comment, oh, that looks like Hitler's mustache. And so then immediately they had to go and change it again so that it didn't look like Hitler's mustache anymore.
Yeah, it looked like Hitler's mustache if he was going to a rave.
Yeah.
Was it like a big blow up on Twitter where people were yelling at Amazon for it? It's like a couple of people made a joke that looks kind of like Hitler's mustache, and Amazon changed it. I mean, Amazon changed the icon before anyone noticed that the icon changed in the first place.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is here. I can actually. Oops. What happened to my desktop? I don't know what happened to my. Hold on a second. Let me get it back here because I should be able to show you the stupid image. Well, not that one though. But yeah, I mean, it's really just in the way they did the little piece of tape. It's not even,
That's it.
Anything major.
And they changed the shade of the box, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So it's not.
And you know what? Let's get the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it has something to do with how people have their phones set up. Like if you have some setting on your phone that you've decided you want everything to be grayscale, so it wasn't blue, or maybe their screen is broken, I could maybe see that.
But yeah, so the left is what it used to be. All right. Then there's Hitler. And then the right is what it is now. And I mean, I don't know how many pictures we had of Hitler smiling, but that's I don't know, classic overreach. For
it's also a very true thing that with Germany's rules being so strict on anything Nazi related, that
I guess
just the fact that some people thought so may have kicked in legal rules in Germany. Who knows?
I guess, but boy, somebody should really tell them that, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. But, what isn't a bit much anymore? Because we also have, now this is an incorrect assumption. All right, some people are under a false assumption that this had something to do with the new administration. It doesn't. This had to do with the publisher making the decision. But Dr. Seuss certain Dr. Seuss books have been pulled for racist imagery.
This is where I get angry because there's no such thing as halfway cancel culture. Okay, you're pulling Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, the man that actually wrote all the stories, he was not a good man at all. I mean, you could compare him. The man, when his first wife found out she had cancer, terminal cancer, she told him, it may not have been terminal, I'm sorry. She told him, I have cancer. What did he do? He started having an affair. And when she found out, she killed herself. And he just went on with his life, nothing bad. So he's not a good man. As far as I'm concerned, cancel them all. But then again, when they pulled the four titles that they said, okay, the publisher is no longer going to publish these anymore. I was like, okay, so not the good ones. It's not like the Cat in the Hat is going away.
Right.
So here, do you want to learn 10 family unfriendly facts from the life of Dr. Seuss?
Please, because I love these kinds of facts.
He was traumatized for life by Teddy Roosevelt. Him and 9 other Boy Scouts were door-to-door salesmen for war bonds, and they were honored for their efforts. They sold so many war bonds, they were actually honored and brought up on stage in their municipal auditorium and given ribbons by the president himself, Theodore Roosevelt. But he only had 9 ribbons for the 10 boys. And Seuss was last. So he didn't have anything by the time he got to Seuss. So he had nothing. So they quickly hustled Seuss off the stage and gave him nothing for his troubles.
Okay.
Number 9, he was fired from his college magazine for drinking. And this was during Prohibition.
Nice.
His first book. Now, Mike, do you know what Dr. Seuss's first book he ever wrote was?
Love in the Time of Cholera.
The Pocket Book of Boners.
Obviously, this was not published by Dr. Seuss, was it? Or written by
Seuss
Dr.
published
Seuss?
his first book in 1931 and opened to rave reviews. The New York Times called it hilarious, and the news wrote about the craze for Seuss's new book, Boners.
Wow.
He got his start advertising oil and pesticides. He made army propaganda with Stan Lee and Chuck Jones. He only agreed to write kids' books so he could write a sexy naked lady book.
Uh-huh.
He invented the words nerd and crunk. His first
Crunk?
Yes, crunk. Go in a
Wow.
crunk car if you wish. The first draft of Hop on Pop taught kids to say contraceptive. He was actually afraid of children. And as Mike said, he cheated on his wife while she had cancer. Not only that, but the pain was too much for her and she anguished,
Okay.
so she ended up... Yes.
Boners were defined as jokes at that time. You just put the clarification on every single thing that is going through cancel culture right now. And, like, this is the reason why we have disclaimers on movies that are streaming, because it was a different time. And it doesn't mean that was like the images in Gone with the Wind with the housekeeper. It doesn't mean that it was acceptable, but it was reality. So we can't erase this from history. We can only look at it and move forward. Why are people trying to erase it?
Well, see, this is not... This Dr. Seuss thing is not cancel culture. This is...
I agree. But my point is
totally
the media was reporting it as such.
As if
People
it was.
jumped on that bandwagon, and
Yes,
that's why
they
I'm
did.
saying, well, if you're gonna jump on that bandwagon, you jump on it all the way and cancel all of his books, because he was not a good person.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I see hypocrisy happening.
Yeah.
And I think this is showing where things are starting to settle down, where you definitely could try to cancel Dr. Seuss, but no one is trying to cancel Dr. Seuss. They aren't saying, okay, there's these couple of books that no one really cares about anyway.
Yeah, my daughter actually made the comment at dinner. We were talking about it, and she actually said, "Well, those are the books we don't read anyway." But I agree that, you know, unfortunately, you know, it is, as we say, it is a slippery slope. Plus, as some people have said, including John Lithgow, the devil is not in the books. The devil is in your heart.
Wow.
You know, from that very, you know, spiritual and self-reflective movie Footloose, which teaches us about all good things.
Well, you know, do you know why? You know why people don't want to cancel it completely or cancel him completely? Because all the people that are crying about this and saying, "Oh, racist imagery, can't get rid of these books. We can't have this, that, and the other thing." They're the same people that are putting Grinch stuff out there on Etsy trying to make a buck, which they shouldn't be doing. Thieves, if you cancel Dr. Seuss, then the Grinch becomes irrelevant. And then what will you do?
Now, on the other hand, you know, we start getting into some of the things where cancel culture has hit, and then you start thinking, okay, let's give a good example. Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey. You know, when you see just how messed up he is, then when you're watching him in a movie, it starts getting uncomfortable. You know, a movie like American Beauty, for example. You know, it's one thing to look at this as a fiction piece, but when you start conflating the person who's playing the character himself being worse than the character, you know, things like that. That's where you know, it's becomes a thing.
You do bring up a good point. Now, again, this is the slippery slope. He had the accusations brought against him, and I don't remember if there were charges brought up and it went to court or what have you, but what the whole everybody is quick to jump on the cancel bandwagon to the point where if an accusation comes out, you're being canceled. Which is the only person that I am aware of in recent time that had accusations against him and they were he fought and won was Chris Hardwick. You know, he was kind of removed from what was it, Talking Dead, because there were accusations against him, and he fought back and won, and guess what? Now he's no harm, no foul on his career. Danny Masterson, who had the accusations against him years ago, he fought them and they were disproven. The same allegations resurfaced, and guess what? He got canceled for it. He was written off the ranch, which he helped create, the show on Netflix, and now he's blacklisted. So I don't like the fact that everybody is on a witch hunt. Everybody's got their pitchfork sharpened. Maybe it's a byproduct of being locked down with COVID, but everybody's just ready. The minute an accusation comes out, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, another case in point here is Governor Cuomo in New York. There's calls for him to resign, and everybody's like, oh, well, now we're up to 6 women that have come forward for his inappropriate behavior. And I'm like, are we trying to get him to resign over the women, or are we trying to get him to resign because of the nursing home deaths? Which is it? Because if it's the nursing home, then why aren't we going after Governor Murphy here in Jersey? Because he did the exact same thing. You know, so there's a whole. So we got some write-ins here. American Beauty. There were some parts of that were
I've never actually seen it because I just
I have. That's a movie I haven't seen, but there are certain you know, I mean, certainly directors do it for a reason, but there are certain segments of certain films that I just won't watch. And that's sometimes it's the reason why I won't watch a film entirely. You know, like there's like Showgirls. Watched it once, we'll never watch it again, because there's a very graphic scene in there that I don't like at all. You know, there's several others that I know I won't watch, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But you know, yeah. I mean, I understand the desire to show scenes like that, but it affects the audience a lot. And it sometimes that you have to realize it's a reason why they may not want to see your show again. So it may not have the repeatability.
And then even Robin Thicke, okay? Robin Thicke with Blurred Lines, okay?
Yeah.
When you listen to that song is about as rapey as you can get without actually saying the word.
Oh,
I know you want it.
Oh.
I know you want it. Right?
Oh, similar.
But now he's you know, the Masked Singer, he's all up in there.
Oh,
so
there's a new Hallmark movie coming out called.
What do we got here? Okay, Kids. Kids always bothered me. I think I remember that show, and it only lasted like one season on MTV because was so controversial.
Yeah.
It's the second part in reality, so they're claiming the first. Okay, so I think he's referring to the Governor Cuomo thing about the nursing home versus and doesn't matter for all politics. Is Cuomo on the wrong side to have his behavior overlooked? No. Listen, Cuomo, I'm not saying overlook it, but what I'm saying is, I guess the line is blurred. Not to confuse with what I was just talking about with Robin Thicke. The line is blurred. Everyone is calling for him to resign. And that momentum picked up. It started because of the nursing home situation where the orders were leaked that they lied about the nursing home numbers in COVID, and that the orders were that nursing homes or long-term care facilities could not refuse a patient returning from a hospital even if they showed symptoms of COVID. I may not be phrasing it exactly as it was written, but that's how it all started. Then all the accusations came out about the inappropriate touching and the sexual misconduct or whatever the harassment, however you want to call it. And the line got blurred about why people were asking for him to resign.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was just talking about kind of misaligned things. So there is a new Hallmark movie coming out. Okay, it actually debuts March 20th because Hallmark is a regular fixture in my house. This is why I know this. And the movie is called Chasing Waterfalls. Now it is every advertisement plays the song TLC Waterfalls, and my wife thought that this looks like a really good movie. And I'm like, but that's a really weird song to associate with a Hallmark movie. And she goes, what do you mean? It sounds really catchy. And I'm like, you do realize like half that song deals with AIDS, right? A person dying from AIDS? And she goes, no. I said, yeah. And actually, I just re-looked it up. Yeah, so half of the movie deals with a teenage son ignoring a mother's plea and getting and dying from drug-related offenses, and the other half is a woman who has sex with her boyfriend, but as he looks in the mirror, he has the early onset symptoms of AIDS. And I'm like, boy, that is who at Hallmark thought, yeah, this song, this is the one we want to market with this movie. Okay. Because they don't align together if you listen to the stupid lyrics.
So it's funny you say that because Cisco wrote in and said, no, Kids was a movie. And yes. So I looked it up. Kids was a movie in 1995. And the whole premise is the main character, Telly, has made it his goal to sleep with as many virgin girls as possible, but he doesn't tell them that he's HIV positive.
Yeah, I kind of remembered.
So
when you started to say
right
that, I'm like,
there,
ooh, I kind of remember that.
I'm out.
Yeah. Like, again, bad idea. Never should have been made. This is a horrible idea.
No, it absolutely should not have been made.
What's the point in this? What social lesson is this teaching? Because who would have this twisted idea? Because somebody out there idolized that idea and said, yeah, I'm going to do that same thing.
Somebody either idolized it or did it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it depends on tone too. I have no idea what this movie this is, but if the tone was a dark, serious drama or heck, even horror, then that's one thing. But if there's any lightness to it all, that's just not.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the same thing. I mean, there's, takes us back where we started of saying, well, was this thing that was good there, or are we going to cancel it now? And maybe.
Apparently,
now that's not to say that you can't grow and you can't evolve. People can grow and people can evolve. That's definitely
okay. So yes, that is a very good point.
Because we have done that as a show. We used to have an opening that we would play, which would reference a Jay and Silent Bob, saying. And we, as a show, decided that we would take that out of rotation. That we would no longer play that because, as a show, we decided, hey, even if it had a funny intent, it could be construed the wrong way. Even if that was not its original, meaning whatsoever, it could be taken the wrong way. It could be taken out of context.
Exactly. When it was a clip from a movie, and in the movie you had the entire context of why that clip made sense. But when you isolate it, there was room for misinterpretation.
Yeah.
So,
and the last thing,
sorry.
The last thing we want to do is be accused of any type of that type of attitude. I mean, trust me, we will make fun of people. We do it all the time. But we will do it in an even fashion. We will do it regardless of who you are. And with no ill will other than your own stupidity. That's it.
Look, if I make fun of Florida Man, it doesn't mean I hate all Floridians. Because I don't.
Just the old people which shouldn't have driver's license.
Or
those that are on bath salts.
If I make fun of the British monarchy, okay, I can't even say it with a straight face like that because I don't like Britain. That's I'm Team Meghan the whole way. Okay, listen.
One of these days, I have to listen to that interview because I have to know what was so polarizing.
Oh, when the TLDR, look, they raised concerns to Meghan that her baby's skin might be too dark.
Yeah, I did read the headline that said, "Good thing to know, Americans aren't the only ones racist."
And the best, Oprah's face. Oprah just really, and right away you're thinking that is the signal. The Illuminati are going after Britain now. So that's all y'all Ashens fans, all y'all Anna in the Apocalypse, all y'all IT crowd, 9 out of 10 cats, whatever shows, BBC, Top Gear, Doctor Who, better come to America because Britain is getting canceled now. The Illuminati has locked and loaded.
Yeah. I tell you what, I did get caught up on Doctor Who, actually. I don't know if you... Can I say that?
Well, Cisco lives in Florida, so I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Can you say what? You can say whatever you want, man. I got no problem with that. Okay. Oh, I get it. I missed the first one. Okay. So how do you? Yeah. Look, I don't know. I don't No.
We are the last to tell anyone what they can or can't say.
Exactly.
We will not issue you any cards or take any cards away. Let's put it that way.
Hey, listen, you do you, boo.
That's right. Because only you have to answer for you. We don't have to answer for you. We have to answer for us. And that's it. Although there is one person that has to answer for something. Reese's. What the heck they doing? An all peanut butter cup?
Mm-hmm.
Don't they know that peanut butter and chocolate are the best combination ever? All right. We don't need an all peanut butter cup.
Don't defend them, Mama Blair. No, this Reese's is known for their peanut butter. Okay, so
they make a peanut butter if you just want peanut butter, though. They actually make Reese's peanut butter.
They do. They make Reese's Pieces, which is peanut butter you could eat on the go. They don't. This, I don't understand the need to come up with all of these new products, and
this is an abomination.
That doesn't make sense. That's it. No.
Mm-mm. It's wrong.
Now, if they did it reverse, where it was peanut butter on the outside, chocolate in the middle,
ooh, that'd be good.
That at least would make sense.
That'd be an inside out Reese's cup.
What if they did a Reese's yin yang, where you had one chocolate outside, peanut butter inside, one peanut butter outside, chocolate inside?
That'd be okay.
They should do that.
Yeah.
Now, for Easter, they do have Reese's peanut butter cups with a marshmallow top on them. Those are really good. It's not a marshmallow texture. It's just marshmallow flavored. They call it cream. Basically, it tastes like you mixed a Reese's peanut butter cup and the marshmallows from Lucky Charms.
Well, apparently, I'm okay. Yeah, look, I'll try it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll try the peanut butter thing just to see. Kim's all for it, so I'm gonna try it eventually. That's what that's telling me. Sooner or later, I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna see them. I'm gonna try it.
We'll all have to get them and try them for the first time on show.
What the heck is Reese? Reese cups. That's what we call them here in Jersey when we've had too much to drink. I need to get some Reese cups.
Well, because the thing is, it's an apostrophe S, so it belongs to Reese.
Yes,
that's the thing.
So here's
the marshmallow. Oh, hold on. Nope, wrong one.
Hey.
Wrong one. Sorry. That's the marshmallow top looking ones.
Okay, I would try that.
Yeah, that don't look bad.
Listen, Reese's comes out with Peeps. I'm gonna fight somebody because I hate Peeps. I absolutely despise Peeps.
But you can make Peeps battle in the microwave.
Yes, and actually, there's a Twitter account called NASCAR Sarcasm. It's like an abomination of those three words. Amalgamation, whatever. Mm-hmm. And every year when the playoffs start, and it's down to 16 drivers that are going to race for the championship, he does the Peeps Derby in his microwave. And the last one to explode is who he picks as his driver to win the championship. I'd be all about that. Okay. I can't stand Peeps. I don't like them. But Sixlets, we have discussed Sixlets on this show many times, and we are fans.
Yes. Ooh, what about a Peep some more?
Well, that's just a marshmallow.
Yeah.
But it's still got the sugary outer coating. So would that be like a brulee?
I may have to double up on the chocolate in order to do a Peeps s'more. which basically is like sugar diabetes over a campfire. But
Yeah.
it's possible. Oh.
Yeah. We got into snack chat now. Now we're in our element.
What if you took the graham crackers and you did a peep with a Reese cup?
Somebody told me to use a Reese cup instead of Hershey's chocolate in a s'more.
But now if you get the Reese cup that has the marshmallow top,
Has a marshmallow top.
so now you don't even need the marshmallow. You just put it between two graham crackers and.
But it's not going to stick without the marshmallow. You can't heat up this marshmallow top. Unless the brulee torch will work.
Microwave. No, that's the perfect way for a microwave s'more. You just put the little sandwiches in the microwave and nuke it for like 10 seconds and boom.
Oh, no, don't do 10 seconds. Good Lord, don't do 10 seconds. I did 10 seconds. I do microwave s'mores all the time, all right? And this is how you got to do them because this is the only way to make them work, all right? You actually have to build the damn things completely, all right? So graham cracker, all right, then chocolate. Then what I have found is you actually have to you either have to use the mini marshmallows or you have to tear your marshmallow in half, all right? Put that on the chocolate. Another piece of chocolate on top, then another graham cracker. And the trick, this is the trick. You have to get two real plates, one on the bottom, one on the top, because what will happen is that marshmallow will start to expand, and you need to compress it back down so that it can't get too tall. All right? And you need like 6 seconds max because that chocolate melts real quick.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling you.
Yeah. But that will work real good.
Kimberly, if you're still listening,
Mike
Reese's
s'mores.
Reese's stuffed waffles.
If you made a chocolate waffle and then you put Reese's in the middle and then some powdered sugar on top after it come out, or some whipped cream on top, or marshmallow fluff. You could even crumble some graham crackers and put that in the middle too.
Fluffer Nutter Waffle.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're keeping all of our listeners nice and fat so they can't get up from the computer, so they can't listen to anything else other than us. This is what we're doing.
Nutter Butters with a can of Coke. See, I can only do one or the other. But
there are so many people that put peanuts in Coke. You know, it's a very Southern thing, but there's a lot of them.
Fluffer.
But trying to find the map of what areas call them Reese's and what areas call them Reese's.
Well, that's easy. The areas that call it Reese's is pretty much here.
Oh no, a lot of the South does the same thing.
Oh really? Okay.
And it's actually before this, I thought it was mostly the South.
That's cute. That's
waffles
so cute.
We are making are supposed to be healthy.
That's cute. Yes, they are supposed to be healthy, but we can splurge.
That's right.
We can make.
Hey, I am subscribed to Dwayne The Rock Johnson on Instagram, and he has a cheat day every week. You should just cheat as much as he does. All right.
Okay. Oh yeah, a cheat day for him. He eats as many calories as I eat in a week on one day. Oh, big cheat day! I've got a bottle of tequila, 17 chocolate chunk cookies with peanut butters, and a whole stack of Belgian waffles with real maple syrup because non-GMO stuff. This is my cheat day.
And 3 pizzas.
Now,
one of these days, I gotta unsubscribe from him. I gotta do it.
Now, what's worse than the Reese's versus Reese's is the pieces. So sometimes some areas
PCs
will call
versus
them,
pieces.
well, sometimes someone will still call them Reese's Pieces and Reese's as the cups. But others will say Reese's Pieces. And then others will actually go full hog and say Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. Yep.
Reese's Pieces. Yeah.
Oh, I don't even get the S in there. Reese's Pieces. Yep.
Telling you.
I think I hear my mom's head exploding in the background.
Oh, no. No.
Because there's not enough candy.
All right, so listen, in Jersey, North Jersey and South Jersey, the line is pretty much clearly drawn the same. Soda versus pop, Taylor ham versus pork roll. The line is pretty much identical. Sody always precedes pop, and that is an age thing. That's a subset of the pop. Sody pop.
See, I'm because we went down south so often when I was younger. Everything is just a Coke. Everything was just a Coke down south to, because, well, it also has to do with the fact that we went to Atlanta. But you know, but so many people, that's all they just Coke. It's like no other flavor should have existed, or no other vendor should have ever existed. That's all that they sold. Just that's what you grew up on. Your mother's teat gave you Coke. It didn't bother with milk. So I said teat. It's PG-13.
So I have to say, I usually just go with drink. I'll almost never ask for just a Coke. I'll either ask for exactly what I want or go with just, like, if I'm telling someone, I'll say, get a drink, maybe a soda. So if I want to be more specific, then I would say soda.
Yeah, I mean, there are.
Okay.
That's one of those that has been around forever. Oh, see, look, this map actually does it exactly the way that I always heard it. If I can bother to get the stupid map up, but where's it at? There it is. See, there. That was what we always knew.
Okay.
Soda pop, soda Coke. So,
although I think that Coke is probably a little low there at the tip of Illinois.
Probably. I think it really, Kentucky probably is where it starts.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing about Illinois, Mike. We're such a tall state. We go everywhere from basically with being a Wisconsinite to a complete deep south at the far tip.
To a brother cousin. Yeah. So
brother cousin.
All right. Boy, this is what you get, folks. You get everything under the sun.
Okay, let's switch gears completely and talk about RVs.
What? Arby's?
RVs.
Oh, RVs. I thought you were gonna talk about Arby's and the food poisoning outbreak that we had in town. But okay, RVs. Gotcha.
Yeah, people are supposed to stay at home if they're going to go out. It's just
it's just their luck if they're
doing their thing.
If they got the 100 cases of food poisoning from one restaurant. All right. So, yeah. So, Colin, we've talked before about your future, and you said one of your possible future endeavors, now that you're not a total homeowner anymore, is you might see yourself being a full-time RVer.
Yes.
And I've watched enough Going RV to know a lot about RVs now. All right, I watched Going RV, I watched Extreme RV, I watched RV Makeover. All right, I know a lot about RVs. So what are we talking here? Are we talking travel trailer? Are we talking fifth wheel? Are we talking Class C, Class A? What are we looking at for you, Colin? Because I know we talked about, your parents basically have like this. It's like a modified pop-up, really. New wave.
Yeah, they have a hard
pop-up. Yeah. So, what would Colin be looking for to become the new, Colin man pad of the future? What would you be looking for?
Well,
what's your list of? Let's do this just like the show. What are your requirements, and then what's your budget?
Shatter's full.
So what's your requirements? What's your budget? What are we looking for?
I have no idea what the budget is going to be, but so I've looked, I've done some thinking, and I've decided that a motorized RV doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Because they're so much more expensive and smaller. So you get less, you pay more. And then you still have to tow a car. So if you're going to tow a car, why not just have a truck that you're towing it with?
Okay, so we're talking about either a travel trailer or a fifth wheel now. All right?
Yep. Now, part of this is going to depend greatly on what goes on with the Ford hybrid 150s.
Okay, I can tell you right now, a 150 doesn't have that great of a hauling capacity because my dad.
Well, the hybrid 150 has a huge. I think it's just over 12,000.
Okay, but that's not a lot when you get to the wet weight of an RV.
Oh, I understand. I'm just saying. That's why I said it depends what's happening with the 150. Well, I should say what's happening with the hybrid Ford trucks, period.
Okay.
Right
so
now,
I think what Colin is saying, I think what you're saying, Colin, is if they expand this hybrid technology to the 250 and 350s, which would increase the towing capacity, then that might be a better option.
Yeah, because right now I'm seeing the hybrid 150, and it's enormous towing capacity, and its ability to, on its own, power a trailer with its 30-watt inverter capability. And look at that, that's amazing. And really, have you ever seen such great advertising for a truck as what's been happening in Texas recently? With them being able to say, hey,
it's true.
We're powering our houses with our trucks.
So are you looking to do a lot of boondocking, or are you going to be, setting up shop for a while on an established park?
So the possibility of being able to do at least some boondocking and, not having to pay is intriguing, especially if I can get myself some satellite internet from Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's definitely part of the calculation. Part of the reason why I said those hybrids, if between the a bunch of solar panels and the generator built into the truck and stuff, that's doable. Now, as far as trailer versus fifth wheel, like I said, that has to do more to do with what the truck's going to do than anything. I've contemplated everything from an Airstream, especially with that Airstream that they had with an office in it. But so those fifth wheels have offices. I like the idea of having an office. That'd be a great thing.
Well, the other thing too that you're going to have to consider if you're looking at the hybrids is do the hybrids have the ability to have is there a limiting factor on a fifth wheel mount with the hybrids?
Yeah,
because I don't know where the batteries are located. That's where I'm
versus the framing. Yeah,
right.
According to the Ford towing guide, the hybrid F-150 is fine with a fifth wheel.
Yes, but if
what
you don't know,
pull a wheel is a completely separate thing, but it is set up to be able to have the hitch.
Yeah. So Colin sent us this this.
I believe Cisco has a trailer, if I remember correctly, because he said a lot of the pull behinds are coming with solar panels built in now, or solar roofs type.
Yeah, or at least what I've seen is a lot of them are coming with pre-hooked up, so that then all you have to do is install the solar, and it's pre-wired. It really just depends. But Colin did send us the Flying Cloud 30 FB office floor plan from Airstream, which is very retro, Colin. I saw you as a new wave guy. I didn't necessarily see you as an aluminum hot dog kind of guy. So no slide outs, no bump outs, no, not a lot of undercab not a lot of under storage with the Airstream. So this is a little bit surprising, but this is a very very interesting model where you got a bedroom up at one side, a little bit of a living dining area. A lot of the people that I see on the shows, they're concerned with where family's going to stay when they visit. So I don't know how you're going to, sleep a lot of family here. But, I understand. Table goes down, makes a bed. It's a horrible one. Jackknife sofa, probably, obviously. That's a horrible bed, too, by the way. Nobody likes those. And then you've got your office on the other side, which, as you said, interesting since you're going to be a work-from-home person. And I do like that concept. That's much better than, say, having a bunk room back there for some, rapscallion kids. You don't need that when you're on the road, crunching the miles behind you. So I definitely approve of that. Lots of USB plugs. I don't know that this one actually showed how. Okay, so the bathroom's sizable. It's not bad. It's definitely not the most spacious.
I mean, if it's just you, that's not terrible.
Yeah. Mrs. Cullen might find an issue, but don't know.
Yeah, once.
Let's be real. I'm not planning on a Mrs. Cullen.
Well, okay. The other thing here that you note with Airstreams is they don't have slide outs.
Yeah.
And that tends to hurt the floor plan as far as having space.
Yeah, see, it'd be nice if this whole kitchen area and chair and couch, if that would slide back even 18 inches, I think would give you a lot more room in the living room area. Plus, I don't see where the TV mount is in here. The absence of TVs in this model so far.
Oh, it has a TV. I forget where it is, but there's okay. So here's what I'll say about the Airstream. I'm probably not in the end going to be getting an Airstream, but what is nice about an Airstream is that they are going to last much better than anything else is going to last because it's just an aluminum tube.
And I understand they'll hold their value better. There's certain pedigree that comes with Airstream, obviously, as well. And so, honestly, with less slide outs come less possible mechanical issues and things like that.
This is true. So this is yes, the Airstreams are typically more expensive. Now, I'm going to send you the link to the one that Cisco has, or said he has. And now this is for him, his wife, and last I checked, 2 dogs.
Oh, this is very cozy. I like this so far.
And yes, Mrs. Collin would probably have her own rig. Okay.
So we can look at this and we can see definitely a marked improvement from a feng shui aspect here. Lots more room in the living room area here.
Yes, because you have that slide out.
Yes, which just gives you that much more space. I do like that there are separate entrances for the bedroom versus the living room. That's always nice to have 2 entrances and exits as well. Looks like the bathroom is nicely sized here too. kind of looked like it was stuffed into a closet in the other one. Honestly, this one looks like it's good.
You don't have the murder toilet.
So, and here, even though they're using it for pet storage per se, or storage, they have the double bunk. So lots more storage area. And so I think it's I think that's a nice option here. It's very good. And a pet drawer built in.
So the other question here, because Mama Blair just wrote in, the smaller fifth wheels are pretty nice. Yeah. So the other question becomes handling and maneuverability. And I believe that fifth wheels are a little easier to tow because of the pivot point and
as I've been told, the fifth wheel is basically makes it become an extension of your vehicle. It's a much nicer, easier way to drive to pull the vehicle. It doesn't feel like it's this thing hanging off the back of the truck.
Yes.
Right.
You have a lot more control with a fifth wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, so yeah. As well as it doesn't have a tendency, if you're right on kind of that edge of the weight limit, to pick up the front driving wheels, because it is centered right over those back wheels. So it's another big thing.
Yep. So there's one that I've seen. I was going to try to find it, but it actually is a fifth wheel that actually had a separate office next to the kitchen with its own. It had a door going into it.
I think I've seen that before, where it was like optional. It could store a motorcycle or it could be an office.
This particular one could not store a motorcycle. It was literally a couch on a slide out with an actual desk and a TV. It was a den.
Now, Mike, when you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, you said you actually have a little bit of experience kind of RVing.
Yeah, it's not even it's limited experience. One year Kim and I borrowed a friend's road trek, which was let me see if I can pull up. It was an older one. So we borrowed it to go up to Maine with the dogs. This is probably, let me see.
Those are not cheap. Looking at the new models.
This was kind of an older one because it was actually based very similar. Driving-wise, it was pretty much exactly like driving my Tahoe at the time because it was based off of a very similar drivetrain. It was a 2005 Road Trek 190 Versatile. Or no, actually, might have been, maybe it was closer to this. Hold on, was it a popular? It was a Road Trek 190, so I'm not 100% sure which, if it was a Versatile or a popular, but this looks very similar to it. So I'll paste this over to you. So what happened was we drove this up to my father-in-law's up in Maine because the space that we had there was not quite enough space in the spare bedroom for all the dogs and Kim and myself. So we borrowed this from a friend, and I actually slept in the RV at night. So nothing too drastic,
right?
Just enough space if you were just traveling, not bad at all. Very easy to drive.
Reminds me kind of all of those like conversion van retrofits that people would do themselves in the 80s. You know? So yeah,
and it had the built-in generator, so if I needed to, I could, but I was able to just plug into to Kenny's like shed and run the electric there. So it was, it was comfortable. Would it be something that I would look if I found it for cheap? Like this one that I linked to you here, it's a 2002 and they're selling it for $38,000. I don't think I would go that much. If I found one, relatively cheap, would I buy it? Yeah, I probably would, because it was a decent little. It was nice to drive. It wasn't terrible. It was good for a weekend to get away. I mean,
yep.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I have pretty much decided that if we were going to camp, we would not be taking tents. All right, we would be RVing it somehow, because we're too old for tent camping. That's just the way it is. Now, what's funny is I was talking with a former host of the show, Nate, the other day, and he said, because he has a young child, because he waited until late in life, and that's his problem, not mine. But so he has a 5-year-old actually right now, and he's like, yeah, he wants to go camping, and I'm like, oh, well, the backyard and a tent is calling, as far as I hear, for you, then, because I would just RV it. And he goes, I think I'm going to end up in several tents. I think we're just going to go to a park or whatever. I'm like, no. Like, you're older than I am. And I'm not getting down on no ground. I don't care how good of a pad I have. Not going to happen. I get sore sleeping on my sleep number bed. All right? There ain't no way I'm laying on the ground. It just ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm like, no. The wife and I have talked about it. Maybe when the house is paid off, then we look at getting, a camper. But we would be looking at probably a Class C or a Class A. She keeps saying, well, I want something where we can take the grandkids in it. And I said, why? Why would we want to do that to ourselves? That is not in my plans. My plan is to go. Like my plan is we just go somewhere that we want to visit, and the problem is you always do want bigger, but
and
the hope is
my wife has spoken. I'd rather rent a cabin by a lake. Yep.
Yeah. And that's one of my concerns is I'm like, hey, there's this thing called Airbnb where I can just rent a place.
Well, you know what? It's not even that. Like, similar to how Colin has, his DVC, timeshare down there. You could do timeshares on a vacation home. This way, you don't have to worry so much about the maintenance.
Yeah.
But you could still go there when you want. Like, I would love to have a vacation house on a lake somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But then you got to worry about maintenance and being able to get there and all. And that's the other thing. Like when you start talking about the RV life.
Yeah, it's all the problems of a home and a car together.
Well, no. My whole thing is just thinking about it. Like Kim and I will be looking on, Kim will be looking on Zillow about where we're going to move, because right now I'm not focused on that. I know eventually we're going to move out of Jersey, but she'll be looking on Zillow, and part of the consideration is how far are we from my parents?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's a fluid situation, something goes wrong.
Yeah,
it's just something that's one aspect. I'm just saying that's something that I don't think I could deal with. Like if my mother called me up and said, "Oh, your stepfather fell down the steps and he's going to be in the hospital for 3 weeks, and I'm by myself." If I'm on the other side of the country in an RV, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck. Okay, well, now I got to drive 36 hours nonstop. Or I got to
catch a plane or whatever, yeah.
Let me stop and get the Red Bull, and, so that's something to...
That's one of the things that I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see if this works.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Now Colin's trying something out of the box. I know he didn't. There we go. All right.
Hey, it worked. Okay.
Yeah. We see it. So the 2021 Pinnacle.
Yeah, so this is the 37 NDQS. So you can see this thing is the one that has an office in it.
It does have a nice
little new.
Yep. We can 3D explore. Look at that. See, that is a nice kitchen.
A kitchen island, for God's sakes. Wow.
Oh, you got to have that. So many people want a kitchen island in there. I love these people that go, listen, I really want an island. I want a bunkhouse. I need a big pantry. I need a residential fridge. I'd love to have a dishwasher and a washer dryer. By the way, my budget is $12,000. You know, I love those people. You know.
I'm a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you got a desk area here.
Yep.
Okay, so that's kind of dual purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, so it could be an office, but it's also like an entertainment.
Be or a bunk room. I would say that's a single bunk room too. That basically they took a bunk room and they changed it into an office in that floor plan. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I know, and on those shows, people bitch about
chairs. Wow.
On that show, people bitch about table and chairs, but I'd much rather have that than a banquette any day. I just think it's easier. Oh, look at that nice shower with the bench. People discount benches, but the older you get, you like a good bench in the shower. Now, I'm not crazy about this bedroom. There doesn't look like I don't like it when you have to crab walk around your bed. Especially to get into that closet. You're only going to get into that right door. You're never going to bother with anything on that left door. Unless you're kneeling on the bed.
And apparently that closet's big enough to have a washer and dryer in it.
Yeah.
All right. Apple juice. There you go. How much is it? 110,000 MSRP.
Yeah.
But when you think about it,
like,
that's
probably
basically
70,000.
All right, so that's basically when you look at it as this is replacing a house, and in the words of B.J. McKay, and best of all, I don't pay property tax.
Well, except for, all right, if you think about it, so let's say that you get a house about that size. That includes the property that the house is on, right? So you still have to have a lot somewhere. And that lot still includes your utilities. So, because I was looking at this, because I was wondering, I'm like, okay, what do these full-timers pay between the cost of their rig and the cost of a lot to stay on? What does it equal out to? So, I was looking in there like, oh, well, even most state parks are anywhere between $50 and $80 a night. Yeah, a lot of bedrooms are like that. So 50 to 80 bucks a night, that works out to almost the same amount, as if you were to have your utility and electric, your utilities.
Yeah.
So you're not really that much better off than if you were to just buy a house, depending upon where you bought the house, obviously. Because
the difference is you can't have your house out in the middle of nowhere where there's no lights, so you can actually see the stars for once.
If you're able to get your house to that place, you have to still have a paved road to get this, trailer there.
Yeah.
And by the way, Colin, we're still seeing the floor plan, so I don't know.
You want to flip back to your camera, Colin? Because
I already did. It's stuck.
Oh, no. Oh. Well, that's going to make a very...
So I'm going to refresh the browser here and see if that...
Okay.
So that's all right, because it's about time.
It's getting close to do... There you are.
There he is.
I was going to say, otherwise the RV is... The trailer is going to give a movie review, and that'll be a first. We've never had an inanimate object give a movie review before.
Oh, God.
And this movie review is going to be a bit different. Because Colin has to give 4 reviews. Mike and I only have to give 2. Because Colin screwed up last show and watched the wrong movies. So this week he's going to give us the reviews on the... So Mike and I decided, okay, fine, we'll watch the movies that Colin watched for this week. But Colin needed to watch the movies that we watched for last week. So Colin needed to watch Frostbite and what was the other Last Call. So he has to give us his reviews of those first before we do the movies for this week. So, Colin, we're
Colin,
gonna send it to
by
you.
all means, feel
don't,
free to
don't bother going
give a
full
preview.
screen.
Okay.
These are going to be very abbreviated.
Okay. So, any order that you wish, sir.
So, Frostbite was just awful. That one got a vert from me. It just, there was no redeeming that piece of crap at all. No. Last Call, I'm giving it a meh. I think Last Call actually had a better cast than. I mean, there's people there's like, oh, that's the guy from Groundhog Day, and of course that's Christopher Lloyd. And it's just like you just look at it going, oh, and it has a terrible Deus Ex Machina ending that just comes out. Yes, they said that there was this contest well in advance, but still, just the ending didn't make any sense. Oh, everything's bad, so everybody decided to move to Ireland. Where's Scotland? Anyway, gave it a meh, just because it was mixed on both sides from me, and like I said, yeah, one at least could have been a good movie. The other should not have been made.
Okay. So then we will move over to this week's shows, which is Husband for Hire and Vamps. Okay. Which I have to tell you, I was not looking forward to initially. Very much looking forward to this review segment now, because this is going to be interesting. All right. All right. So we will start off with Colin, because he saw these 2 weeks ago and was ready to review them back then.
Yes.
And I'll even let Colin decide which one he does first. So Colin, take it away.
Let's do Husband for Hire first.
Okay.
And it's been a while, so just a second. So, Husband for Hire is very much a Hallmark type movie. Actually, this one I believe was an Oxygen movie. It stars Kelly Ripa's husband, Mark Consuelos. Is that? I think it's correct. It's a movie where a woman is cheated on by dang it, what's his name? Mario Lopez. So Mario Lopez cheats on a woman just before they're supposed to get married. She doesn't know it, but he's actually cheating with her sister because
Spoilers.
they are. Yeah, I'm going to spoil the crap out of this one. So yeah, they're basically trying to cheat her out of an inheritance because her family is just terrible, and there's her mother arranged for there to be a rider on her inheritance where she had to get married, and her father wants sign off to say that yes, I approve the marriage so that she can get money. So she decides to cheat the system by finding a Mexican over at the nearest hardware store and getting him to pretend to be her husband just so she can get the money. Ends up not actually getting a real Mexican. He's a full American who just decides to moonlight as a Mexican to do gardening because he really likes gardening. I don't know. So yeah, as you can see, as you can guess, before the movie even gets going, that they're eventually actually going to fall in love. And unlike now, there are usually these kinds of movies. There's more of a happy ending than this one was, but this is very much like the movie we saw 2 episodes. I think it was 2 episodes ago with the guy. Who works for a fake Taco Bell. Yeah, it's the same plot. It's the same plot that every single one of these movies has. It's not a movie for me. I'm not going to say I like this movie. I'm just going to give it a meh. But not a... with that big asterisk that says, if you like Hallmark movies, I'm going to guess you'll like this movie. It has lots of people in it. It has people you'll know. That's good.
All right. I'll go next if that's okay, Mike, because I'm sure you have notes which will pick up the slack. So, all right. Husband for Hire, like Colin said, should have probably been a Hallmark movie, but it was an Oxygen movie instead. There are some subtle differences between the two, by the way. Hallmark movie, everything would have ended happy and fine and everything resolved the way you would have expected it to. Oxygen movie, not quite the way you would have expected it to, but still in a good way. All right. Yeah, there are quite a few people you would know. So Tempest Bledsoe, Eric Estrada, Mark Solois, Mario Lopez, which, boy, it is really weird to see Mario Lopez playing a D-bag. All right? But it's so cool. All right? I really like him playing the jerk in this one. Because you don't see him play. Normally he plays like the good guy, right? I remember seeing him in Holiday in Handcuffs, and I thought, oh, okay, he's the nice guy in this. But in this one, he really plays the bad guy. And Eric Estrada, again, you're used to him playing either the quirky guy or the nice guy or whatever. Here, he plays kind of a jerk, and it's a bit entertaining, really, to see them play kind of off characters for themselves. So this kind of has an interesting role to it, really. It's a good feel-good movie that you can watch with your significant other on a date night, and it just goes well. So I would say if you do have Hallmark on your TV more so than not, this is a good show for you. And my dog is going nuts, so I will turn it over to Mike while I go let her outside.
What did you give it?
Whatever. I will give it smile, actually. All right, Mike, take it away.
So first of all, Mario Lopez is a D-bag. So he's playing himself in this movie, finally. And I want to know, Eric Estrada, what has he been in except Chips that you have any kind of basis to compare what he's played? I mean, so now, as far as I'm concerned, it's 50-50. He's one good, one bad. Listen, I don't have all day Sniffy. That was a line in the very beginning. I swear, listen, I'm banking this, and I'm going to use it on my damn Labrador who thinks she has to sniff every square inch of grass when we go for a walk. Running from cops in a limo, because that always works out. I guess Oxygen didn't approve of the line, take your ass to West Texas, because they had a bad Galaxy Quest style lip sync error / overdub there. So she realizes that there's a GPS antenna on the back of the limo, and at first I wanted to ask who the hell mounts a GPS antenna like that, but then I realized, well, it's an Oxygen movie, so don't even ask that question. The best man is like a redneck dollar store Tom Green, and first glance of the girlfriend makes me realize that she is insane. So I'm pretty sure that this meeting between the bride and the girlfriend is going to go well, right? Of course. There it is. This is all about getting a trust fund. So I'm going to call this out right now based on the typical formula. She's going to pretend to get married. She'll get caught. She'll actually fall for him during the whole thing. She will give up the trust fund to live in the trailer park with him. Somehow Daddy will accept her choice and give her her money anyway, and everyone lives happily ever after. So I was not going to comment until the end to see how correct my prediction was, but we have a Mario Lopez dance interlude, and I don't understand what that had to do with anything. Oh, now I get it. Improv talent show. Of course. Even though we don't know whether she gave up her money or not, I am guessing not, since Daddy kind of sided with her decision in the end. I believe my prediction, based on the typical formula, was close enough. Duke to Schneikes, I am giving this a meh. That is the standard rating for any Lifetime or Oxygen movie that does not star Rachel Lee Cook or Lacey Chabert.
All right, so now we know what we got to do to get higher than a meh. Oh, boy. Okay. Next up, 2012 movie, Vamps. By the way, for those of you interested, both of these available on YouTube. So Colin, will go first with you again.
Okay. Vamps. So I will say, going just off the description we had in our movie list, because I was looking at the wrong tab, so the description was still there. It said something like vampire romance movie or something like that. And I sat there and I said, okay, we're going to watch this. It's going to be terrible. And I just sat there and I was like, I was braced for the suck. I knew this was going to be bad. What I got instead was a movie full of people like, people I know. Sure, Alicia Silverstone and Kristen Ritter are the two leads. But you have Sigourney Weaver, you have Wallace Shawn. Is there such thing as a bad movie with Wallace Shawn in it? I'm not sure there is. Malcolm McDowell, Richard Lewis, even Mary Lou Henner shows up. It's just this movie. I thought I was getting some kind of TNA vampire raunchy romp thing that I was going to hate. Instead, I got something that, I'm not sure what the rating of this was, but it was not that. In fact, for the most part, it felt more like a well put together sitcom than anything else. A feature length sitcom. This could have been a sitcom. I will just say, unlike the other movie, I do not want to spoil a lot here, other than to say you have Alicia Silverstone and Kristen Ritter playing two vampires who are roommates and getting through life and dealing with consequences and having romance. And in the end, this movie made me feel something, which most of these movies can't do. And I just say, when it comes to this series, when I find a movie that I know what I was going to hate, and instead I came out of it loving the movie so much, it gets a Schneifes.
Wow. I'm shocked. That is such a hard rating to get from Colin. Wow. Okay, my turn. I'm befuddled, and it's not the 4 shots of booze. All right. So, yes, as Colin said, this is a who's who of actors where you go, I know them. All right. Missed opportunity for him to say inconceivable. I'm sorry. Missed opportunity. Should have happened. I don't care how, but it should have happened. This is a typical, almost coming-of-age vampire movie, which you wouldn't think there'd be a lot of them, but it turns out there are, and I like them all. So I was really worried I wasn't going to like this one, but I do, because I like Alicia Silverstone, and a lot of the things she touches turn to gold. So I really like this movie. I liked her part in the movie better than anybody else's part in the movie. I'm just going to tell you right now. I thought she did really well with this. All right. I don't know where this lines up to in her acting roles, but I think she did well on here. So, a few things I took note of. Madam, you've insultingly confused us with the police. I am from Time Warner, and if you ever want to see Jon Stewart again, you'll open this door. Funny line. All right. Another funny line. Can Time Warner just bust into a person's home and kill them? Yeah, they're terrible. That's hilarious. I don't care who you are. Daylight savings incident. How appropriate for the timing. You can't make this up. So, Colin, thank you for screwing this up because it made perfect sense now. Wouldn't have made sense last show. All right. This movie was great. Not only did it have good actors in it, but it had some really funny lines. I don't know how they ever labeled this with horror in the meta information, because it's not a horror. It's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's a little bit of a drama. All right. It's a romance movie. It's a good movie. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, if you like Blast from the Past, you're going to like this movie. All right. It's a fun, good movie that's going to make you cry at a certain point. All right. Or almost cry. And if you don't almost cry, you might be undead yourself. All right. You better cry, or I'm going to put a stake through your heart. The only thing I will say that I was disappointed at in the movie, and I'm not really disappointed, it's more just so hokey that it's funny, is some of the CGI. All right? Sigourney Weaver's head on a pile of bones is one of the worst special effects we've seen since this series started with Cowboys versus Dinosaurs. All right? It's that bad. All right? Her going down the side of the building, crab walking, but saying, "Call me." Oh, hilariously bad effects. So if you were a fan of the Librarian series of movies and how bad those effects were, you're going to love these. All right? I think they took the same Apple IIG and did the effects with it. All right? You're going to have a good time with this movie. That being said, I cannot be as generous as Colin. I cannot give this a shnikes. I can't do it because I love Alicia Silverstone in other movies better. All right? I'm not going to get over her in Blast from the Past. That's her best movie by far. I don't care. Her and Brendan Fraser should just make pretty babies. That's all I'm going to say. All right? But I am going to give this an S-eating grin, which is just below shnikes. So that's what I'm giving it. All right, Mike, you're up to ruin our day.
You know, normally I go in alphabetical order when I'm watching the movies now, just so to eliminate any kind of decision making or favoritism or what have you. But since I mentioned these to Kim and she said she may have seen the other one, you know what? It's not really relevant. I just know I'm not happy about a double rom-com whammy. This, you know, Alicia Silverstone, Jessica Jones, Sigourney Weaver. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Okay, listen. She's making out with the guy in the tongue thing with Aram from the Blacklist. Creepy as hell. Malcolm McDowell. And one of the flunkies from Police Academy. Seriously, how many celebs are in it? Wallace Shawn? Richard Lewis? Kristen Johnson? Taylor Negron. What the? Okay, so I want to know what kind of cable guy carries a crossbow. Why people let him in so quickly? Listen, the tanning / dinner scene, there's no way in hell that scene would fly today. people would be calling racist in today's world, and you know this. And the wall crawling. I'm right there with you. I don't get it. And now Mary Lou Henner. I don't know how this movie got made and flew under the radar so bad. I thought this was going to be, it was starting out like a dollar store Once Bitten. But you can't call a movie a dollar store copy when it's got 92.7 times the star power of the one that you thought it was a copy of. So I wasn't exactly thrilled with the storyline. I thought it was a little hokey-ish. I will admit, yes, the ending, I probably haven't cried as much at an ending of a movie since Beaches. So I'm going to give this a smile. I kind of feel like it was like a bunch of actors just got together and said, okay, let's just, it's like they were all trying to make a name for themselves or like it was a class project, and it just turned out really, really good. It wasn't like a real movie. So I can't give it more than a smile.
All right. I know I am usually the hornball of the group, but Mary Lou Henner, after she was bitten by the vampire and come back to looking good, has anybody ever seen anyone in a hospital gown look that voluptuous? Because I had to go back and pause it. Because I only know her as Aurora Teagarden's mom.
You don't know her from Taxi?
No, not really.
You don't know?
Most recently, okay. I know her as Aurora Teagarden's mom because that is on Lifetime.
Okay, well, she was also in an episode of 2.5 Men. She hooked up with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, I didn't watch that show. I mean, I know of her. Don't get me wrong. I do know of
Johnny
her.
Dangerously?
Yeah, I know that. I know, like I said, I know of her. Don't get me wrong. I know who Mary Lou Henner is. But recently, I know her as Aurora Teagarden's mother.
Okay, fine. No, we let it started with one bad movie. And then they just started suggesting other bad movies to us. Like, if you like this, if you liked this one, you might like these. And it just kind of was a chain reaction from there.
But you see, where sometimes they're not bad movies.
No.
This one, for example, we all really liked. And we don't know where the heck it came from. Because none of us had ever heard of it before.
But I never would have watched it.
You should watch it. And it's free.
Well, yes. Okay, so dollar for dollar, if we take the cost into consideration, this then becomes a Schneikes because it's free.
Yeah. It's one of the best movies ever made. If we take the cost into consideration.
Let's not go that far. Let's not get crazy here.
I exaggerate. It's hyperbole. Okay. I'm sorry. But, you know what I mean. I kid.
So, because Colin watched the two movies on the suggestion sheet before we picked, and you
think that I poisoned the pool the time before.
You absolutely poisoned the pool by putting both of these rom-coms on here.
You think I did, but I didn't.
So therefore,
random.org.
I chose from the list
the
two movies for next week. I made an executive call. I said, to hell with you guys. I am making the decision.
That's right. It still had to be within the list.
It was still from the list, yes.
Yes.
So, we are watching on YouTube.
Okay.
And arguably, this may be a week where we have two actual movies. Mm-hmm. On YouTube, we are watching The Best of Times, starring Robin Williams and Kurt Russell.
Okay, that is going to be hard to not judge well.
And on Netflix, let's hope it's still there.
Okay, that is a best of time married banker Jack Dundee, played by Robin Williams, has lived his life regretting a botched play he made in a high school football game. His friend Reno Hightower, played by Kurt Russell, who through the pass that Jack dropped is deeply in debt from operating his car garage. With Reno, Jack hatches a plan to reunite all the players from the old game and replay it, hoping that this time he can make amends. When the game eventually happens, Jack again finds himself at the center of a key play. All right. And then the next one is, was it Waiting?
Waiting.
Now, I believe I may have seen this one. Is this the Dane Cook one?
Dane Cook literally has one line.
Okay, but
maybe two lines.
All right, but this is
the Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, because
yes.
I love Ryan Reynolds, and you know, if I could, I would have his baby.
This is about as close to a Shaggy type movie as I would pick from this list.
Mm-hmm. I watched this, and then I believe I watched this, and then I watched Employee of the Month. I think I did my own double feature of this, and then Employee of the Month.
I am actually, because of the unusualness of just not doing a random pick, I am going to give you guys an opportunity to replace Waiting.
Oh, no, I'm okay with Waiting. Colin, have you ever seen Waiting?
No, wait.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. If you both agree, we will replace Waiting with Yes Day on Netflix.
I am okay with Waiting because I want to see Colin's reaction to bat wings.
Okay.
And Mike, I believe you and I know what that means.
Yes.
So.
Or the goat.
Yes.
Yes.
So yes, I'm okay with Waiting because it has been forever since I saw that movie, and so I would be definitely up for rewatching it.
Okay. Okay.
Because this was
I'm up for it.
This was early into Ryan Reynolds' career.
Very early, and before Justin Long became a sellout.
Yes. So yeah, no, I'm good with it. So nope, I'm good with both of those. That'll be fun.
Okay.
Awesome. So that is going to be our next show, which, according to the calendar, will be on the 29th. So everybody make sure that you tune in again on the 29th. Hopefully you have worn off the hangover from St. Patrick's Day.
Let's just say, as preparation here, because I do believe, Colin, you are getting second dose that day, correct?
Yes, so you might have an interesting episode of watching me decline.
I was going to say I'm gonna go on record as saying, even though it ain't me getting the shot, I'm going on record as saying there's a 50-50 chance we may postpone.
That's right. Yeah. Yep.
Or Colin's gonna be like, well, you know what? If I go downhill, I got Wi-Fi in the toilet. It's cool. We don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. But it is that's kind of what we do here. So we'll see what happens. But stay tuned. Don't forget to check out our social media for how that all plays out, because that's where you're going to hear about it first. So with that said, thank you for tuning in to PTR Radio here on the Fabulous Interweb. We do want to thank everybody for, joining us on all of our social media platforms, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere basically that you can think of. Just look for @PTR Radio, and my beagle is going nuts. She really wants to be paid attention to right now, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's where you can find out when the show is going to be. But like I said, we will be on in a couple weeks as long as Colin's immune system does not totally react to the second shot too badly. And who knows, maybe by then I'll have my first one, and maybe I'll be the one broadcasting from the toilet. You never know. But I won't have 4 different types of Irish whiskey, and I did make my way through all 4 of them today. Thank goodness I didn't do all of the different Irish whiskeys that I have. I only did a small selection of them because I was not trying to kill myself. So anyway, we do hope that everybody is doing well, is continuing to do fine in this strange time that we find ourselves in. And don't forget that we are here for you. So, if you ever need a chuckle, you can tune in to us on Facebook, YouTube. You can also download our podcast. Just go to ptrradio.com, and it's got all the information there on how to subscribe. You can listen to past episodes. We've got almost, I think, 10 years worth on the podcast feed, so you've got a lot of stuff to listen to if you ever get bored. All the different iterations of the show are posted there. So with that said, I really don't have anything else. How about you guys?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, don't forget to check out Double Feature Movie Review next episode. We got some good shows coming up. All right, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man, brought to you by Aetna.
That's right. This whole show has been brought to you by Pork and Beans. Pork and Beans.
No, not really.
No, we're not brought to you by Pork and Beans either.
Not brought to you by Aetna either.
No.
It's just the first brand thing that I saw.
Talk more about that on the next show. Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.